Hi, everybody. Welcome back again. Thank you for being here and spending time with me. Thank you to everybody who gave my daughter some love on her channel. She truly needed it, and she now has renewed energy to bring you more, better, and fun content in the future. Okay, guys, I know there is quite a bit going on in the news and many questions. Too many for me to list here, but once again, it is questions like, will he, won't he? Will Charles invite the Harkles to his coronation? Will they go? Will Harry's book come out, or will Charles pay for it to be shelved? Will King Charles clarify the title situation, and when? The questions are just piling up and with little to no answers. Something I personally think is not doing the monarchy or anyone in the royal family any good. We live in insecure times, and if one thing can be said of the Queen, it is that she was a constant and stabilizing force in her lifetime. In my opinion, it would stand King Charles in good stead to issue that promised statement to clear up the titles, including that of his brother Edward and the Duke of Edinburgh title. Anyway, we'll talk about the latest news and speculation later in the week because, unlike mainstream media who drops one conflicting story after the other, I prefer to wait until I either get a proper answer, a truthful answer, or a more probable answer before bringing it to the public platform. We'll also talk about some money matters, pledges, and donations during the course of the week. Today, and every now and then over the next few weeks, I'm going to bring or try to bring some perspective to some of the things I found in Tom Bowers' book. Yes, I know you may say, oh, but we heard it all by now. But, like I said before, each of us bring our own opinions and insight into everything we hear and read, and while making notes for this video, I found that my perspective on the information contained in the book is quite different, or not different, but just from a different angle than I heard many others talk or present. When it comes to the first few chapters, I could go into Meghan's personal relationships with family and boyfriends, but I think that is indeed old news, and many discussed it already. What I got out of all of that are also the things we have discussed in many videos before. It is my opinion that Mr. Markle was not 100% accurate when he said fame changed Meghan. No, fame, or the little bit of fame she got through Suits, did not change her at all. Meghan was Meghan, spoiled, selfish, narcissistic, with an ego inflated like a helium balloon. In my opinion, there was, however, a life-changing moment for Meghan, and I think it was one we all overlooked thus far. From the book, it is clear that Meghan's boyfriends and even ex-husband Trevor were all fillers or stepping stones. In my opinion, it was not Suits that changed Meghan. It was something else. Meghan told her father that she wanted to be famous and rich when she was only a little girl of about 9. So no, fame did not change her, in my opinion. In her mind, she was always better than anyone else and destined for great things. She just did not know exactly how to get there. She did not have a well-defined plan. Yes, she hopped from the suit set to the TIG to interviews and fashion shoots, but that global notoriety eluded her until something happened. And that something, in my opinion, and now that I'm actually reading Tom Bowers' book myself, was meeting Misha Nunu. In my opinion, that was Meghan's moment of clarity, the moment she started formulating her plans, when everything she needed to do to achieve what she wanted to achieve became clear to her, when her ego exploded and nothing and nobody else mattered to her anymore. Now, Meghan and Corey flew to Florida for the Miami Art Week and were invited by Marcus Anderson to stay at Soho House. And it was Marcus who seated her next to Misha Nunu. Like Meghan, Misha was a social climber, and by then Misha had indeed reached a certain level of social acceptance and visibility among the rich and famous. And why? Because she, Misha, married Alexander Gilkes, an old Etonian friend of Prince William and Harry, during a 3-day wedding party in Venice in 2012. That is why. That opened doors and provided Misha, an aspiring fashion designer, the high-end contacts she may never have had otherwise. That was the pivotal moment Meghan decided that Misha's rich British husband was exactly the type she needed for herself. That was the day Corey became an optional extra, nothing more than the chief cook and bottle washer when it suited her. And we see this in her actions after this meeting. First, she takes Corey along to see her parents just after Christmas, but a few weeks later, in February 2015, during Valentine's Day, in a post on the TIG, Meghan does not even mention Corey. As a matter of fact, she writes as if she is single by writing, "I decided to be my own Valentine." Meghan was ready and eager to venture onto her new path, and that did not include Corey. No, she wanted to conquer New York, and not, as Mr. Bowers so kindly wrote, emulate her idols Angelina Jolie and Emma Watson. No, 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 no. She wanted to be Angelina Jolie and Emma Watson. She wanted everything they had and more, much, much more. And that is how and where Meghan started making her first huge mistake. Mistakes she is still making to this very day. And by reading Bowers' book, the puzzle pieces I had been missing are actually now falling into place. Meghan basically tells us in her podcast that she has no self-awareness. Remember me telling you as much in part 2 of the Meghan Ragland roller coaster? Well, because had she had any self-awareness, she would have known, would have realized that she is no Angelina Jolie and she is no Emma Watson. And I do not even mean that in any kind of derogatory way. There could not possibly be two people more different from one another than Meghan Markle and Emma Watson? Firstly, and most obviously, there is a nearly 10-year age gap between Meghan and Emma. So one can almost say there is a generational gap between the two of them. Their upbringing was completely different, regardless of the fact that both had parents who divorced. Emma's parents are both lawyers. But other than with Meghan's parents, Emma spent weekdays with her mother in Oxfordshire and weekends with her father in London. Emma wanted to become an actress since the age of 6. But when Meghan walked down the red carpet with her father at the Emmys and told him she wanted to be famous, Emma did not act professionally prior to the Harry Potter series, but instead honed her art by training at the Oxford branch of Stagecoach Theatre Arts, where she studied singing, dancing, and acting. And even though she did complete a BA degree in English literature, Emma continued to receive tutoring in acting and filming, even while on film sets or studying. The release of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone in 2001 was Emma's debut screen performance. However, in 2014, when Meghan met Misha Nunu and started formulating her new plans and road to fame, Emma Watson was already famous, and along with names like Judi Dench, Robert Downey Jr., Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and Mark Ruffalo, was one of the recipients of the Britannia Awards, and Emma was indeed in 2014 awarded British Artist of the Year. At the time, Meghan was already 33 and Emma only 24. And there, ladies and gentlemen, is Meghan's biggest problem in a nutshell. It does not matter how bitchy or how ambitious or how nice someone is. It does not matter how they look. It is their uniqueness which makes them a star in their chosen field. For instance, I may not particularly like or be impressed by a certain type of person, but my neighbor or one of you may love or adore that type of person. But when it comes to Meghan, we all ask, who is Meghan? What does she really want? We don't know because Meghan has not been her authentic self for a very, very long time. And it is my opinion that Meghan herself does not know who she really is. All she knows is that she wants to be Angelina Jolie, Emma Watson, Princess Diana, Duchess of Sussex, actress, humanitarian, podcaster, author, ambassador, politician, activist, model, mother, wife, socialite, stinking rich, and God alone knows what else. And that is why Meghan will not and cannot reach that success she so desires. Matthew 6, verse 24 reads, no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and Mammon. That is from the old translation of the Bible. In the new translation, it reads, you can't worship two gods at once. Loving one God, you'll end up hating the other. Adoration of one feeds contempt for the other. You can't worship God and money both. We see this now. Meghan was a failure as a duchess and a royal because it did not pay enough. She thought she could do better, earn more as a celebrity. Her book was a joke because she has no skill as an author. It was a rushed piece of junk. Their docu-series is teetering on the brink of failure because they took on too many projects at once, and therefore this one took too long and comes at a time where we are already losing interest in them. And because Meghan is praying at the feet of Mammon and has not found her own niche yet at the age of 41, she will likely never be trusted again and will never reach the heights she has set out to reach. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, next time I'm going to show you some clips you may or may not have seen before, and I'm going to reveal yet another mystery, and one I was sent in the direction of by Tom Bowers' book, but one I have not seen anyone else talking about yet. So hang on to your seats, because those of you who have read Tom Bowers' book will recognize the subject matter, but will likely not recognize the footage and would not have even thought to look for it. And by viewing it, it is going to give you a whole different angle on Meghan Markle. And unfortunately, like all the other angles, it does not paint a picture of a woman who is stable or focused. So, my dears, until we meet again on the next video, please take good care of yourselves. Bye.